what's up? Run Pure Sports. Doing a little baseball today. Oh, yeah. I got DC. I got D-Rock. You got DICKHEAD over here. Make sure you like and subscribe. You guys just went over your head, or you just said, yes, I agree with that. Like and subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner down there. Hit the like button just because you like us. That's all I need to tell you. Just hit the like button because we're nice, because you like DC, or you like D-Rock, or you like me, and you're just feeling nice today. Guys, before we get into this, I mean, what's going on here with these umpires? Holy crap. Last night, I didn't bet on DraftKings, so I didn't get the refund for the bad beat, but holy moly. Like, how do you miss that call? And it screwed things up in DFS too. It's not just the bet side. DC, the whole weekend we got Conforto getting hit in the elbow over the strike zone. It's all happening at once here. It's unfortunate you can't control it, but man, these things have had some major impacts in DFS.
Yeah, for those that missed it, just a horrible call at home plate. The winning run for the Phillies in the ninth inning, sacrifice fly. Alec Boehm just completely misses home plate with his foot on a slide. They go to review. There's multiple angles that it's not even up for debate. I mean, he missed it by a few inches. They're looking at it. They come back and they call him safe. It was bizarre. I actually had a bet on the Braves. Unfortunately, it was on FanDuel, so no refund for your poor guy DC over here. Just a crazy call. Yeah.
Oh, FanDuel. Like FanDuel betting, or did you do FanDuel DFS?
No, I had a bet on the Braves on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Oh, they refunded those, dude.
Did they?
They refunded. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
I only saw the DraftKings. Good. I'll go check that out.
I'm still waiting for PointsBet to give me my my money back for the whole cancellation of the Twins today too. So we got that. We got DC and D-Rock. You got Holden here. Clint Griffin saying Holden's a KU fan. What's EMAW mean? EMAWL. Probably went to Missouri or something like that. Slappy. Okay, so here's the deal. We got a big slate coming up here tonight, a really big slate coming up tonight. And we might as well just hop right into it. D-Rock, hello. First of all, how are you? Second of all, you look at this slate here. What's your overall general take on these games? What do we got, 14 tonight?
12. And I think
down to 12?
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of weather that could affect two of them, maybe. I think it's Pittsburgh and then the Mets game again could have some weather. But I like these big slates just because the ownership never gets crazy high. Tonight's going to be interesting with the Yankees being I almost said in Toronto, but in Florida to face Dundon that they play in or something? Dunedin. But to face the Dunedin Blue Jays.
Dunedin.
So that'll be interesting to see how that affects the ownership on such a big slate.
Time out. You are offending so many octogenarians right now by mispronouncing Dunedin. Come on,
Dunedin.
Buddy. Yeah, our demographic in the 80s not very happy with you right now.
We'll send you.
I was only alive for 3 years then.
All right, sorry, D-Rock.
No, I mean it's gonna be a fun slate. I mean, there's so many places to go, so many great hitting spots. I can't wait to get into it.
All right. Well, you don't have to wait. We're going to do it right now. This is going to be awesome. So let's do this, DC. Let's start at pitcher. I came up with 3 teams I'm going to target offensively tonight. There's some really interesting pitchers on this slate. Now, you got Garrett Cole. You got Tyler Glass now. Freddie Peralta, if you're looking for a little bit of salary relief and upside. Greinke, I don't know about Greinke. Rodon. Man, there's a lot. So let's hear it, man. How many pitchers do you have in your pool tonight, and who are they?
I think you could make a case for, at various price points, 6 or 7 pitchers, I would say, in the pool. I don't know how many lineups I'll end up playing tonight, so I'm not going to actually play 6 or 7, but there's at least that many I think that you could reasonably play without trying to get, of course you can play anybody, get way off the wall if you want to, but I'm seeing 6 or 7 pitchers that I can make a legitimate case for. At the top, all 3 guys for various reasons: Garrett Cole, Tyler Glasnow, Zach Greinke. Obviously, Zach Greinke, a much different pitcher than Cole and Glasnow, who are power arms, big strikeout arms. Greinke is the complete opposite, right? One of the slowest velocities of any starting pitcher left in baseball, but dude gets the job done season after season, start after start. And, he arguably has the best matchup of all these guys against the Tigers lineup that I think he'll be able to befuddle a little bit. This is a young team. They're inexperienced. I expect Greinke to kind of do his thing against the Tigers. So I think he'll probably be lower owned than those two. I think that's fair, but he's interesting. Between Glasnow and Cole, really close to me. I think I slightly lean Glasnow over Cole, a little bit of a price discount, but it's more the matchup thing. Toronto just has so much power in their lineup, and if Cole has a weakness, it's giving up home runs, especially in that small park in Dunedin. So I have it at the top ranked Glasnow 1, Cole 2, and Greinke 3. But I think all three guys are pretty solid plays tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Freddie Peralta in here.
I'm just talking about the top guys. We'll get to him.
Yeah, we'll get to him, but yeah, Freddie Peralta. 7-7 DK, 7-6 on FanDuel, coming off a great start against the Cubs too. D-Rock, I'm sure you were putting your hands on your face and crying after that 8K performance. But top shelf pitchers, who you got? And after that, move down into that middle tier, would you?
I'm basically in the same boat as DC. Cole, Glasnow, Greinke. I actually do like Cole a little bit more than Glasnow tonight, and it's more of the fact that I just think people are gonna shy away from Cole because of facing the Blue Jays down in Florida. And Greinke, I agree,
we went for the safe option. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But I like Greinke a lot tonight against the Tigers. I mean, he still has a 31.3 CSW going back to the start of the last year. And I think he's definitely going to be lower owned. I'm showing Glasnow like 40% ownership right now. And to me, when I see that, I'd rather just go to either Greinke or Cole.
D-Rock, explain to the people what CSW is, because there's no way Holden knows.
What, Chicago White Sox?
I know what it is, but go ahead.
So CSW is basically your swing and strike rate on how often, I'm trying to think of best pronounces without the dictionary. How often a pitcher is getting swinging strikes for his strikeouts compared to just the actual strikeout percentage itself. What I like to do is when I look into a slate of pitchers, for instance, I have their CSW right next to their K percentage. So
you got it wrong, D-Rock. You failed me. That's not what it is.
Failed you?
Yeah. CSW percentage. So you'll hear me reference like swinging strike percentage a lot. CSW is called strikes plus whiffs. So anytime a pitcher throws a strike, called a strike, that's a called strike plus the swinging strike percentage. So you'll see that, like the best pitchers are kind of get into the upper 30s. It was kind of, I actually think Alex Fast of Pitcher List kind of came up with the metric. So yeah, very good metric kind of to boil it down on who's pitching effectively.
Nice to see your little energy today, DC.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I had to bring it after disappointing performance on Friday.
Yeah, it was horrible. Why did you shave your face? What's going on there?
Well, I usually do it when I'm allowed my weekly shower, and I kind of get it all going. That was
that's right. He did say that. That's tremendous. Anybody else you want to get to there, D-Rock, in the mid tier?
I can make a throw for Carlos Rondon right now. I mean, he's projecting the fourth highest for me out of everybody tonight. I'm not really interested in McKenzie at all. Alcantara is an interesting option tonight, just because of his strikeout potential. I definitely think not me will go there against the Braves. Yeah, because I mean they're red hot right now, but Alcantara is definitely somebody that I've been keeping my eye on, and I wouldn't mind getting a couple shares of him at 8,500 tonight.
Okay, very good. Let's go back down to the middle tier here, DC and pitchers. Want to get your thoughts on that? Oh, I should have given the weather off the bat. We were talking about kind of some spotty places here. We got Seattle and Baltimore, not too much to worry about. And I think the only other one is Philadelphia at the Mets. And I mean, what a debacle. Here we go again. And that's the team. That's the Mets deciding to try and play a game in a downpour and burn their own pitcher, Stroman. So that was stupid. I think that's something I'm going to wait on a little bit. I actually, come to think of it, I don't have too much from this Philadelphia and Mets thing. And you guys might talk me into it, but outside of that, I think Philly and the Mets is the only one I'm worried about. But DC, middle tier guys.
Yeah, I think Phillies and Mets seems kind of unlikely to play. I mean, yesterday, like I couldn't believe when they announced like half an hour before the game that they were taking the tarp off. I was in Discord. I'm like, I would still be very nervous about playing anyone from this game. I mean, you looked at the forecast and the radar, it's like literally rain all day. They get 2 outs into the game and they have to delay it. Eventually goes to postponement. It's pretty much been raining off and on in New York since then, and it still says rain all day tonight. You would imagine that they don't want to make the same stupid mistake that they made yesterday, so they could be extra cautious. So I guess we'll see. I almost expected the Mets and the Phillies to be postponed by now. So the closer it gets to game time, I guess maybe the more likely they're going to play. But yeah, I think I'm guessing that one's going to be postponed. I think everything else will play pretty much without issue. In the middle tier, D-Rock brought up Sandy Alcantara. I think he is a very strong play today, especially if you want to get a little bit contrarian against the Braves. Like you mentioned, the Braves bats have really come around after a slow start, but Alcantara has the stuff to shut down any lineup, mostly right-handed, right? Only Freeman and Ozzie Albies swinging from the left side there. I could see him dominating against the Braves, especially the bottom half of that lineup. Tons of strikeouts to be had. So he's interesting. Rodon, I think, is fine. I feel like I'm buying in high at this point. He was obviously my number one guy in his last start, but we'll see. I think he's okay. And then I got a little bit of a hot take. So I am with you on Freddie Peralta. Holden, I think he's an excellent play tonight. Looked great in his only 2 outings, has made changes, all that stuff. I'm looking at Alex Cobb at 8,400, and I think you're going to get him very, very low owned. Yes, Alex Cobb. We can go after it here. So new team this year with the Angels. Looks like he's changed up his pitch mix a lot, using his curveball and splitter more often. Has ditched the 4-seam fastball entirely. And if you look at the results he had in his last start against the White Sox, gave up 3 earned runs, did give up a home run, but he was pretty outstanding other than that. 6 full innings, got 7 strikeouts, went 97 pitches, so we don't have any workload concerns with him. The biggest thing, though, a 19% swinging strike rate, had a 72% first pitch strike rate. Those are both elite numbers, and that's against a good White Sox team, a much better lineup than he'll face against Kansas City, who has a ton of strikeouts in their lineup as well. It's a nice big ballpark, nice and cool in the 50 degrees there, so the ball's not going to be flying super well. And his issue is the home run. But again, the ballpark and kind of the cool temperatures will help mitigate that problem. Listen, 8,400 feels like a lot for Alex Cobb. I get it. But if we're talking tournaments, that's why you're going to get him, I think, super low owned. So he will be, barring something unforeseen, Alex Cobb will be on my main lineup tonight.
I mean, he was a hell of a prospect with the Rays, too. It's not like this guy is just some jabroni coming out of nowhere.
He's had good stretches.
He only walked 1 in 6 innings. So I think the control there is another one. I like that look. I think that's pretty good.
Listen, I can't guarantee that he's going to perform well like he did, but like it was not a mirage. He was legitimately awesome in that first start against White Sox. Sometimes you'll see pitchers get 7 strikeouts and it was just kind of, they kind of lucked into it. It doesn't appear that way at all for me for Alex Cobb. So I think we could see some good outings out of him today and kind of in the near future if he's able to maintain some of the pitch mix changes that he introduced in that first start.
The Royals bats have a 30% K rate right now this year against righties.
Yep. I mean, if it's really a kind of a new pitcher in Alex Cobb, and I think it is, then the matchup, park, all that stuff, you can't really argue with any of that.
JJ from the bet side. Now, a lot of people know JJ, and let me just say this, and he's definitely getting called out right now. There's no doubt about it. Good buddy of mine. We do shows every Sunday on the bet side. Get Bets, by the way, is the new promo code. Get Bets. Sign up for the monthly Elite Plus bets. Get Bets for free. The first month hits several times in both video and podcast. Thanks a lot there, Simon. I read everything that you put there. Hit several times, both video and podcast. Okay, I hit it. Anyways, JJ reacting to DC's CWS stat, now talking about BBWs. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm not going to, knock it down. I don't care. They can be beautiful women too. JJ, why don't you hop on the show? Joey Work was nice enough to hop on the show. All I need is 2 minutes from you. Simon, if you get a chance, drop JJ the link. I'd love to get his thoughts on some of these games tonight. I know we had some good picks on the bet side. So JJ, we're not going to talk BBW. We will talk some baseball. So get your ass on here right now. D-Rock, mid-tier pitchers. That's called a segue.
Oh, well, actually, I brought the segue into DC with the mid-tier pitchers.
Okay, so low tier pitchers, crap, garbage, bottom of the barrel. Will you even go down low tonight?
I'm not going down low tonight. There's just nothing down there that really interests me at all. I'm gonna basically live in the 8K to 10K range tonight.
JSURab, what are your thoughts on Peralta and Cobb?
So last night when I was writing the article, it was the hardest article I've ever had to write in my life because I had to talk up the Milwaukee Brewers. And I love Peralta today.
Me too.
I absolutely love him. Okay. It sucks because he's gonna be so high owned, but I mean his stuff is just sick. Oh, he's got like a 30% strikeout rate throughout his career. And this is nothing like the Cubs right now. I think it's 5 or 6 guys all have over a 38% strikeout rate right now this season. And this is nothing new. Like this isn't something that just started this year. If you go back to last year, the start of 2020 against righties, then they still had a almost 27% strikeout rate during that time. So I think a little bit of ownership might drop from him just because of the old, the Cubs just seen him experiment. But I think Matt Harvey, I wrote in the article, I think Matt Harvey could get 8 strikeouts against this Cubs team right now. It's just absolutely disgusting to watch. So I'm all in on Peralta tonight. If he's 40% owned, I'll be over the field on him. And other than that, I'm going to jump on board with DC on Alex Cobb. Not much I really know about it because I didn't really look into him all that deep. But I trust DC 100%. And after looking at Kansas City's numbers and seeing Alex Cobb, he had 33% CSW in that opening matchup. I'm willing to go there as well with him.
Was he wasn't on your radar kind of coming into the show though?
Yeah, he wasn't on my radar coming into the show.
I think he's going to be really low owned, right? People just see Alex Cobb and they.
Yeah, I mean, and that's exactly what I did. He actually like rates up pretty high, but it's one of those things where you see Alex Cobb and you kind of just laugh it off and move on.
Yeah, I like the fact the Cubs like to strike out too. They're K'ing about 10 times a game, so we can go back to that with Peralta. I like that. The Cobb thing's really, really interesting. DC, I got to tell you. Absolutely fascinating. So for me, Peralta's my guy coming into this. I just wonder what the combos would be here. Would you pay up for 2? Peralta's not extraordinarily expensive. We know that. What is he again? 77? Yeah. 77 on DK, 76 on FanDuel. But would you pair Peralta with Cobb? Would you pair Peralta with Glasnow? What's the pairing there, DC, at least a couple hours before your cores break on Run Pure Sports?
So I think the most common pairing by far tonight on DraftKings will be Peralta and then one of Glasnow or Cole, right? Like you can only play one, obviously, if you're pairing with Peralta. I do think we'll see Peralta be the highest owned pitcher on the slate is what I'm projecting, just because he's really the lowest kind of reasonable play at pitcher, right? And you'll often see that pitcher end up being very highly owned, especially because the ownership will be a little bit split, I think, between Cole and Glasnow. I think that'll be more or less a split down the middle, maybe slightly in Glasnow there, but I don't feel confident in that projection. So I think you'll see very high ownership on Peralta. I mean, I maybe up to 40, 50%. It's a 12-game slate, so there is a lot of ways you can go, but it's going to be pretty high on Peralta. If we're talking 40 or 50% on Peralta, I think you'll see Cobb at, 4 to 5%, something like that tonight. So that's a pivot that I think is, long-term profitable in GPPs for sure, especially holding Cobb's ownership down could be Alcantara, who's just $100 more. He'll have a lot more ownership than Cobb as well. So I'm liking it. We're talking ourselves into some Alex Cobb for sure. Below Peralta, you said you don't really see D-Rock. You see anything Holden below Freddie Peralta that interests you? I don't see much down there that I'm willing to pull the trigger on.
I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to mess with it at all, to tell you the truth. I'm going all – look, I'm seeing some guys that we're going to attack tonight. Casey Mize, Eric Fetty. I like those guys down low if I want to attack them.
Sure.
Aaron, you know who is interesting here, and I'm not – let's talk about this at least. Let's discuss this. Aaron Sanchez, who I'm not a fan of whatsoever. I thought he was going to be a big-time pitcher with the Blue Jays, kind of fell down. 5 innings against the Padres. Didn't look bad. He limited he really limited hard contact, but I just don't think the strikeouts are going to be there against the Reds tonight. So are we just going to cross him off the list too? And then on the other side, we had a question about Wade Miley and whether or not either one of you had any interest, because I don't.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in Sanchez either. I usually anybody at around 20% strikeout rate, I kind of just cross off my list.
So,
that's the only guy I wanted to bring up. Yeah. Outside of that.
No interest in Miley. I did look into Sanchez because I did used to like him when he was at the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Got hurt, went to the Astros. I think he got hurt after like 2 starts there or something like that. And then, it was a little bit interesting when you just look at the results against San Diego. 4 strikeouts, no walks, 5 innings, right? Against a good lineup. So he did perform pretty well. So he was worth kind of taking a little bit of a dive into, but nothing there. His velocity was sitting 90, 91. With the Blue Jays, it was 94 to 96. So even though the results were decent, he doesn't appear to be nearly fully healthy at this point. Maybe it'll slowly tick upward. But
and then I got one other guy, and he's higher priced, and I don't think anybody's going to be on him. Carlos Rodon. Get your guys' take on that. 9 Ks in that start at Seattle. Get it. He's going up against Cleveland. Here's another offense that doesn't scare me very much. He is, I mean, look, he's at 9.4 on DraftKings, 8.3 on FanDuel. So basically, he is in that second tier behind Cole, Glasnow, and Greinke. And then we got Rodon, and he's not. I can't imagine that this guy, Rodon, is going to be more than 5% owned. Is there enough upside, and does it make sense, DC, to roster Rodon in any lineups tonight?
So I think there's upside for sure. We saw it the first start. He looked awesome. I talked at length about him before that first start. I certainly wasn't the only one on him. He was, I think, 45% owned, something like that. One of the more, if not the most popular pitcher on the slate. And here's the thing. Everybody that played him, which is a lot of people, got a great score out of him, right? So they might be willing to kind of go back to Carlos Rodon here. It's a little bit of a confirmation bias thing. So I think he'll get some ownership. I think he's a reasonable play. It's hard to pay $9,400 for Carlos Rodon when you can get Tyler Glasnow for $1,000 more, right? I totally get that. But I do think he'll have at least a little bit of ownership.
Okay, very good. D-Rock, anything on Rodon? Anything else on pitching before we move on to hitters?
I don't mind a little bit of Rodon tonight. I mean, the Cleveland offense does scare me a little bit against him. Right now, Cleveland against lefties this year is hitting for a 353 WOBA, and they only strike out at 18% clip to start the year. So that kind of worries me. But I mean, he does have a 29% strikeout rate going back to last year. So it's definitely there, but I'd rather just pay up the extra $800 and get to Greinke.
D-Rock, do you ever wear anything that doesn't have Cubs on it? Like, is this just show related? Well, I mean, listen, you're doing the Puma thing. That's like a Marshall's $9.99 special. But you wear Cubs stuff all the time, and I've got no problem with it. Look, I got a Cubs poster back here. I grew up going to Wrigley, but do you have every day? Is there always some Cubs stuff there on you?
It's pretty close. It's either Cubs or Blackhawks.
Do you have any tats? Got any Cubs tattoos?
Oh yeah, I got Cubs tattoos. I got Blackhawks tattoo, and I have to take my shirt off to show you.
Do it. I don't care. I seriously want to see your Cubs tattoo. And this is going to bump up the BBW.
We're getting naked on the show.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. Let's do it. Where's your Cubs tattoo? Just do it. Wow, look at that thing. Holy moly, that's awesome. You got Cubs, Bears, Stanley Cup, and then what's the other arm? Do you wax your chest and Blackhawks on the back? That is impressive, D-Rock. Put that shirt back on. Whew.
That's looking good. I like it.
I liked it too. That's beautiful art, D-Rock. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan.
You probably just got a bunch of chicks to like the show too.
Well, none of them watch. That's fine. It's basically, if there are any women, it usually is the guys using their wives' account. I've just been here enough to where I say that. Okay. Andy V hates Wrigleyville. You're probably a Cardinals fan, Andy.
Probably.
That's fine. I mean, it's not a big deal, buddy. It's all good. And listen, nobody. Yeah, that's right, Joey Work. Hit the likes. Holden got this guy to take his shirt off. I mean, would you call yourself a dad bod, or are you still in shape, D-Rock?
Oh, no, I'm full dad bod now. Once I left the Army, I let the rock hard body go away.
Oh, you were in the Army?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Enlisted?
Yep, 4 years.
Thank you for your service. We're learning a lot about D-Rock today, and we deserve to learn a lot. We want more D-Rock on this show. So thank you, D-Rock, for taking your shirt off and serving your company. Or your country, I should say. This is awesome. Were you expecting nudity today, DC?
I got flustered.
No, I'm actually a little bit jealous of D-Rock's tattoos. My mom said I can't get one until I turn 40, so I'm waiting on that over here.
Come on, that's a joke. That has to be a joke. You wouldn't listen to your mom for that.
Yeah.
I don't have any tats. I never wanted a tat. Didn't do it. Pierced my ear when I was 19. That was it. I don't need any of the other stuff. Just not doing it for me. But D-Rock, it looks good on you, man.
I had to get tattoos because I sleep with my shirt off.
Yeah. You kind of have the male version of a tramp stamp too, which is totally awesome. So anyways, subscribe. DC has a podcast. Did you guys know that? Apple and Google Play. It's the Run Pure Sports podcast. MLB First Look every morning with Draftcheat and a guest. Stevie Boynton was on today. I love my boy Stevie. So that's what we got. That's right. D-Rock turned your $4.49 into $1,050.
There we go. That must have been last night for Showdown. We crushed Showdown last night again. At Sundays.
Oh, okay.
So not to extend it, but a little bit going back to that call last night in the Phillies game. That actually helped a lot of our guys on the DFS side because I had given out Nurse as a relief pitcher to play with your lineups last night. And by the Phillies getting that one-run lead, it allowed them to get some more points from the relief pitcher when they brought them in for the save.
We were looking for something for D-Rock's picks a little bit later on. Simon, I think you got it now. The double nipple pick of the day or something like that. Just great stuff. Absolutely love it. Let's get to the offense, gentlemen. So let me and we get into stacks later, but here's the games that I'm targeting. I haven't not looked at ownership, so maybe you guys can tell me. I want Judge LeMahieu Stanton against Robbie Ray. I can't imagine that New York won't be chalky. The Astros, I think, will be chalky too. And then the A's. I kind of like some of the bats from the A's in this matchup tonight. So, D-Rock, I'll start with you on this one. Not to stacks, but I just want to get your thoughts on the three teams that I'm talking about. Are any of these on your radar? A few bats from the Yankees, the Astros, and the A's.
All three are actually on my radar.
That's not good.
Yeah, and I have a feeling it's going to be probably the popular three throughout the entire industry today.
Okay.
I like the Astros the most out of all of them, though. Okay.
What do you think, DC? Those three teams, how much of that you're going to have? Is that just the chalk? What do we got?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with any of those teams, right? There are a number of good pitchers, so even on a 12-game slate, a little bit limited. Yankees are interesting. Robbie Ray had shown some really good signs of progress in spring training, but then he hurt his elbow. I think just a contusion from falling down. But I don't know. I could see Robbie Ray throwing well here. So if the Yankees are going to be super popular, they make me just a tiny bit nervous. Obviously, a ton of upside, though, against Ray if his control is off. He gives up a lot of home runs to right-handed power. Astros are interesting, too. Casey Mize looked way better in his first start in terms of the velocity and all that stuff than he ever looked last year. So I'm curious to watch him again. The results weren't that great, but I'm more if this was the Casey Mize of last year, I would like the Astros even more. I'll put it that way. And then who was the third team that you guys mentioned?
Yankees, Astros, A's. I like the A's tonight.
Oh yeah, against Bumgarner. Yeah, everybody's going to want that right-handed power.
That's it, right? I can just see going any bats. Yep. I'll go to the bottom of the lineup with them.
Sure.
And I want to target the Tigers too, not just because of the starter. I mean, their bullpen is the worst in baseball. So I definitely want to target the Tigers tonight, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So let's get it. Let's do it. DC, players at catcher. What's the strategy and who are the guys you like?
Yeah, I think the chalk will be Gary Sanchez here. When people stack up the Yankees, obviously they're going to oftentimes kind of include the catcher in that stack, especially at such a weak position, because there's really not a ton here that really stands out. So Sanchez is expensive, but I think he's worth paying for. Obviously a ton of upside against Robbie Ray. I kind of like Buster Posey against Wade Miley. Again, kind of a resurgent season for him so far. 4,300's kind of a tough price tag to pay, right? For Buster Posey, who we don't know how much power he's really got left in the tank, but has looked good at least so far. Pedro Severino, 3,900, a little bit cheaper, hitting fifth today. I think the highest spot he's been in that Baltimore lineup. I like targeting against Justice Sheffield. I certainly like hitters in Baltimore in general, and the Mariners obviously have nothing to write home about in the bullpen. So at the top end, yeah, Sanchez, Posey, and Severino, the three guys I'm looking at right now.
Just anywhere else. Let's just go through catcher and get out of the way because I hate it.
I don't see a ton else. Francisco Mejia for the Tampa Bay Rays against Dane Dunning. Dunning's kind of another interesting pitcher, but he's 3,200 if you need some savings. Below that,
it's tough, isn't it?
I'll throw one name out
down there. Maybe sometimes some guys emerge that you don't expect to be in the lineup, but as of now, I think spending up a little bit looks like the smart move to me.
Yes, Pedro Severino's the guy that I could at least take a shot. He's probably better on FanDuel too at 2.6, 3.9 on DraftKings. I'm not that happy about. So D-Rock, let's do it. Give me your list of catchers here today.
I only got 3 on my list right now, and that's Gary Sanchez and Buster Posey, who DC talked about. And then I haven't seen the Milwaukee lineup yet, but I'm assuming Omar Narvaez is going to be
hitting 7th. Yep.
In it. So I'm willing to spend 3,400. He's 3,400 is a good value on him. Lefty righty matchup with a 336 expected global today. But other than that, that's pretty much my player pool for catcher tonight.
I like it. Well, let's just go right back to you with first base then. And again, no more top tier, mid tier. I just want to get through this whole thing here. I want to get your thoughts on first base. Where are we paying up? If we're paying up, do we even bother paying down at the position? And here's my contrarian take of the day. And I think you'll probably be popular anyways. I think a lot of us are going to be on Alcantara. If you watched that game last night, Atlanta's back to being a launching pad. I mean, the ball is just flying there. And I think Freeman could make some hard contact against that. So I might have sprinkle a little Freeman in there. Not a full Brave stack, but I'll throw some Freeman in there. What do you think?
In tournaments, I absolutely love Freeman. If you're playing cash games, I'm not so much sure how much I like him tonight, as I think he's got 5 hits on the season and 4 of them are for home runs. I like Matt Olson tonight. Now, going with him, I think he's going to get passed up on a little bit tonight just because of the lefty-lefty matchup. I think everybody's going to target the righties.
Yep.
I like, Royce Hoskins again, if that game plays, which I kind of doubt it, but I've been really targeting the Phillies when they're facing left-handed pitchers, and it's been paying off well. Other than that, who else on my list here? Roddy Tellez, if he's in the lineup, he's only 2,500 as a pay down. And Garrett Cole has always got the upside to go deep on him. So I like Tellez there as a one-off if you want to go there.
All right, D-Rock. What I used to do, and then AP just didn't like me doing it because he's a little sensitive. At the end of the show, I just used to correct everybody's pronunciations, okay? And it's just baseball things. So here we go. Listen to Big Daddy over here. Dunedin, say it.
Dunedin.
Rhys Hoskins. Rowdy Tellez. I mean, you're such a quick learner, man. And you took your shirt off. You're quickly moving up the ranks as my favorite Run Pure Sports personality. My least favorite is JSU and Joey Work. My favorite, D-Rock, you're right up there, dude, I must say.
I'm like the worst
pronunciation
guy there is, though. Like, I will mess up so many names.
Good.
That's why it's a good thing I'm not a hockey analyst.
It'll be a great bit. I love it. DC, what are we doing at first base, dude?
Yeah, I agree with most of those picks. My favorite guy here, regardless of price, just top first baseman on the slate, I have Shohei Ohtani. Just monster with the bat right now. I'm not a big believer in Brady Singer. His teammate, $200 or more on DraftKings, Jared Walsh. Again, you can play either of these guys at first base or outfield. I like getting both these guys in the lineup if you can. Trey Mancini hit his first home run, I believe, yesterday. Again, I do like those Orioles right-handed bats for sure against Sheffield in Baltimore. I kind of like the Freeman call just as a super contrarian option. He started off really slow, but he looked really good last night. Went yard, hit a couple other balls pretty hard, so I don't mind him against Alcantara. Other guys on the list, if you want to go down a little bit, I'm waiting for Joey Votto to come around. I'm pretty convinced it's going to happen. one of the leaders in baseball in hard hit balls, but nothing to show for it so far. I think that will change soon, and I do like targeting Aaron Sanchez a little bit. Two first basemen in Milwaukee that you can play, Dan Vogelbach and Travis Shaw, I think are both pretty good high upside dudes. And then one more dude, he'll go, I think overlooked, maybe hitting cleanup in Baltimore, Jose Marmoleos.
Marmoleos. Yeah, I like that call a lot. That is sexy. Yes.
I wanted to get that one out before D-Rock had to give it a try.
It's okay. Jose Marmoleos, dude. I can't believe you landed on him because I was looking at him today saying, I don't think anybody's going to be on this dude. Hopefully they play this game, but they're going up against Kramer today. So
I like him enough that I was kind of hoping he wouldn't hit cleanup so that his ownership would be so low. But 3,400 people are going to notice him. And anytime this guy at first base and outfield eligible, their ownership's going to inflate a little bit just because there's 4 different spots that you can play the guy. But I do like him quite a bit if you need some savings at first base.
Yep, he's hitting cleanup. There you go. Thanks for the baseballpress.com/lineups. So this is interesting. And I love hanging out with the chat. You guys are fun. But Lush is just like kissing my ass. And then all of a sudden he types, roommate just got so mad at my take, he taped a piece of paper over my face on the TV. I don't believe that happened, but I want to know what take that was. Also, we're getting a bunch of Vogelbaum season. Dan Vogelback. Love me some Vogelback, but should he be in the player pool today, DC?
Yeah, absolutely. Both him and Shaw, as I mentioned, hitting second and third.
Yeah.
I don't think Elzalay is any good, and Milwaukee, obviously something of a launching pad there. So, yeah, those two big sluggers at the top of the lineup. Yeah.
Okay.
Just know when you roster Vogelbach, though, you might only get 2 or 3 at bats.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, look at that. D-Rock coming up big there. Coming up big with the information. Time to move on to second base. And what up, AP? It's good to see you watching our show today. Love AP. One of the better guys. But you did get – you were a little peeved when I was correcting your pronunciation. So I just stopped doing the whole bit altogether. Maybe we can bring it back. D-Rock's got some thick skin. It's wonder. He was in the Army. I mean, come on. He took all sorts of stuff. D-Rock, second base. Do I want to pay $5.9K for Whit Merrifield today, or can I just make it easy and go down a few $100 with LeMahieu and Altuve? And if I really want to go down, I suppose Eduardo Escobar. Who's in your player pool at second?
If you want to be different than pretty much everybody else, you can pay $5.9 for Whit, but there's no way I'm going to be doing it. I'll be going down to DJ LeMahieu for the most part. Altuve, I also love him as a pivot off of LeMahieu. I think with LeMahieu being in Florida, he's going to get the ownership there. And with Altuve being 200 less, I think he'll get kind of left out of the picture. For pay down options, I haven't seen the Yankees lineup yet, but I do like Odor. And then the other one I had on my list was Eduardo Escobar at 3,700.
Okay. All right. Your turn there, Mr. DC, second base. Anything?
Yeah, D-Rock missed the best play on the slate. Jazz Chisholm, come on, 3,300 against Inoa here. He's been, I guess he hasn't been as good as I thought, but power, speed in Atlanta, which we know is going to be a great hitter's park tonight. Hitting 6th, can play him at second or shortstop. To me, this maybe is a bold take, but pretty clearly the best point per dollar play at second base.
We just got something in the chat here, and I'm trying to confirm it that Rodon got scratched. So if you guys see that, you want to throw a little link in there. That would be very, very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I haven't gotten no alert yet on that.
Huh?
I haven't gotten an alert on that. Okay.
All right. So again, could be true. Not sure. And when it comes by, we'll definitely let you know if that's happening. Also, hold on a second. Ronnie Rillen, I'm new here, going to sign up after the show. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Welcome, because you're going to win some money. This crew is ridiculous. Between DC, D-Rock, Big T, JSU, Stevie Boynton, TitleTown, G-Rise, all these guys. And if I left your name out, I'm sorry, but the baseball side has just been crushing so far. So make sure you use the code GETBETS and get in on this. That's pretty cool. All right. Lopez is pitching tonight. Gas can. No, Matt Moore is the ultimate gas can. That's who you want to target. We targeted him last night and it was good. So anyways, as we continue our show, we move over to third base draft cheat. Oh boy. Third base. I mean, LeMahieu is eligible if you wanted to go that direction. I go back to Oakland with Matt Chapman. He's got to be in there. Wilmer Flores. It's Wilmer Flores night tonight. He's facing a left-hander, so give me some Wilmer Flores. I'll lock him in. He's going to be in my lineups this evening. What do you think of your pool? What is your pool at first base?
Third base.
Huh?
Third base.
No.
Third base.
Pool at third base.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So I think DJ LeMahieu is probably going to be super popular tonight, right? Just because you can play him at second or third, and he kind of stands out at second. So I think maybe a decent fade at 5,500. You know, obviously is a great hitter, but doesn't have the most power in the world. So I could see fading him. I don't think his upside is super high. Famous last words, I'm sure. LeMahieu. I do like Mike Moustakas, 4,900. Again, San Francisco, not an ideal park, but Moustakas certainly has more than enough power to deal with that. Chapman, you'll see a lot of people, I think, on Matt Chapman, understandably so. My favorite third baseman is actually Kyle Seager. Been on him quite a bit early. Was okay up until yesterday when he went 4 for 4 with a home run. And you look at his overall stats right now, they look outstanding. I think he's very underrated, gets to go to Baltimore, one of the best hitters parks in baseball, and faces Dean Kramer and the Baltimore bullpen. Hitting third, yeah, give me all the Kyle Seager. Give me the little Kyle Seager Marmoleos 3-4 mini stack for the Mariners. It's going to be golden tonight.
That's fancy, man. That is a little bit fancy. I like that. D-Rock, what do you think of DC here? And feel free to rip him. I mean, if you don't like it, feel free to kiss his ass if you do like it, and run down the rest of your picks at the position. Nothing? We all done?
We got
muted.
Yeah, muted. Way to go, D-Rock.
Yeah, I'm on fire today. I know I do like his. I like all the calls he just made. I also had Alec Bohm on my list, but again, I'm not quite sure that game's going to play. If it does, that's just another target I like to go with. I think Phillies against lefties. I do like Evan Longoria a little bit tonight for a late night hammer as a pivot. Yeah. He's got a 909 ISO and just 14 plate appearances this year versus left-hand pitching, which I know is a small sample, but in GPP, I live off small sample sizes. Alex Bregman up top is also another one that I'll be heavily invested into with the Houston Astros. The righty on righty matchup, I think a lot of people are going to shy to the left side of the plate there, and it might bring Bregman in pretty low owned. And then Chapman also at 4,400 is just too cheap tonight against Bumgarner.
Boy, we got some football news too. Gio Bernard's going to Tampa Bay and Julian Edelman just retired. Sorry to bust up a baseball show, but holy moly, that's some pretty big sports news. So are we done with third base, gentleman? Anything else?
I'm glad we stopped it for the third string running back moving teams. That was a good call.
I mean, that was pretty big, man. Are you one of these baseball guys that hates football?
No, absolutely not. No,
okay, good. Because, I was in baseball for a long time, and I don't know hockey's kind of like that too. A lot of baseball guys just hate the NFL. They're so jealous of it. Baseball is supposed to be the big one. Listen, they can both be awesome, okay? And Julian Edelman retiring, I like the guy, so I'm going to bring him up.
Shortstop. Do you have any hockey trades to share with us?
No, I stopped paying attention. Well, you know what?
I have been getting blown. My phone has been getting – is like today the NHL trade deadlines?
Yeah, I think so.
My phone's been getting blown up with trades from the Blackhawks. Okay. I guess they traded Soderberg away if anybody is interested in that.
No one's interested in that.
It was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, it was, D-Rock. Get with the program, dude.
The Blackhawks made a trade.
Do you want to tell us about shortstop, or you want to keep talking about ice hockey?
No, I'm done with ice hockey. I literally have a shortstop pool of 2 guys right now. That's I'm real thin at shortstop tonight. It's Gleyber Torres at 4,500 and Carlos Correa at 4,600 as a pivot off of Torres if you wanted to for $100 more. With a 359 expected Woba tonight against Mize.
Up against Mize? Okay. Who's your pool here, DC?
Can I one up D-Rock and say I have a pool of 1 and it's Jazz Chisholm?
Seriously?
No, I mean, I got the only question. The only question isn't if I'm going to play him. It's just at second or shortstop. Actually, both of these positions, though, kind of what the D-Rock is saying, are pretty thin. Like, there's just not that many great plays here. Correa looks really good to me. He's just looked outstanding early on. Trey Turner, I think, is fine up at the top against John Gant, who's not any good. Turner's been off to a flying start for sure. Oh man, but beyond those, you're just like kind of scratching it at nothing here. I don't know. I'm like scrolling down and all the way back up, and I just don't see anything that really interests me. Nothing popping at shortstop. So going to be a thin position pool for me as well.
I'll probably butcher this name too, but Paul DeJong of the Cardinals. DeYoung. 4,400 if you just, if that's what you had left, you want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Would we dare play Elvis Andrus against Bumgarner if you want to do a low, a bottom of the order stack for Oakland?
He's crushing it so far. A 114 batting average and a 307 OPS. Yeah. I know those aren't the fanciest stats in the world, but those
not
suck
good.
Better.
Like John Holmes shooting on my Chisholm, man. I love it. Jazz has been off to a nice start here. Good looking rookie. So we'll get to the outfield in a second. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Zach DeGoat, though. He's on the bet side. Where the hell is JJ, by the way? Simon, I bet you sent a link to him and he's just wussing out. He didn't want to come on the show because there's too many people watching. But anyways, huh? He doesn't have a camera? Okay, that's fine. I don't know what you said, Simon, but I'll just go on as if he's not coming on. So anyway, Zach the Goat is 5'6" and 135 pounds. And he's threatening my life. And I'm not even kidding you. This is in Discord. He's sending me messages where he's going to mess me up. He's going to kill me. He's dropping F-bombs and stuff. And it got to the point where it was so serious that the dude was doing trap bar deadlifts at 135 pounds and bragging about it. Dude, most people can do 135 pounds with one leg. And you're sitting here challenging me to a fight in the octagon. Ooh. And this is supposed to scare me? 135 pounds? Are you kidding me? Come on, dude. Come on.
You can be in the undercard of one of my boxing matches if it ever goes down.
Yeah, you think so? I don't know what's going on here, Zach the Goat. He's a guy that went to Liberty. Are you guys familiar with Liberty University? Very, very Christian school, like serious. He went to be a minister. And now all he does is drink every night, just get butt wasted, and he gambles. I mean, he drinks, he gambles, and he trap bar deadlifts 135 pounds. Zach the Goat, get the hell out of here. You know, bother me on the bet side. Don't bother me when I'm trying to do a show with DC and D-Rock. And Ronnie, you just signed up? You just signed up, Ronnie? You get a shirt. You get a shirt, Ronnie. Thank you very much for signing up. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. And we got as many as we need. AP, I don't need your back, man. This guy is just a complete disaster. And I think everybody that works at Run Pure has probably seen the video where he threatened my life by trap bar deadlifting 135. It's not Joey Work. Don't try and handicap. Oh, the GOAT is now. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. All right. Outfield. DC, I'm all over the place today. Just take the reins. Just every single outfielder you like.
I'll just go start reading down the list here.
Just read every player in their salary.
So I think Judge and Stanton, assuming they're in the lineup, we don't have a Yankee. Oh, no Yankee. There it is.
Not yet.
Yeah, they're both in there. LeMahieu, Stanton, Judge, Torres. Yeah, a lot of people are going to stack the Yankees tonight. I get it.
They should.
Yes, I agree. I like Soto more than both of those guys, frankly, at least for floor. But yeah, I'll take the pivot to Juan Soto, who I think will be much lower owned than both Stanton and Judge. He's just a better hitter than those two guys. It's not, in my opinion, really up for debate. I think he's got a better matchup, frankly, against Gant. Stanton and Judge, yeah, they could struggle here. I mean, Ray's a high strikeout guy. Toronto has some really, really good arms out of the bullpen. So I'll take Soto over Judge and Stanton, but of course, Judge and Stanton have enormous amount of upside each and every game, and that's not, today is no exception. Jordan Alvarez, 4,700 against Casey Mize. I'm sure he'll be very popular, but he's my dude. He'll be in some of my lineups for sure. Jared Walsh, I talked about him. Shohei Ohtani, talked about him. That brings us down to 4,500 range. I don't want to steal all the thunder, so I guess D-Rock, I'll let you continue from there or talk about those guys at the top.
Juan Soto was my home run call of
Nice.
the day in my article this morning when I released that. I absolutely love Juan Soto tonight. And the thing about Soto is, like, he does not get any love ever in the DFS world, really. So I really think you're going to get him under 10% again tonight, and it's going to make for a great pivot off the Yankee chalky bats. And then my other ones up top, I'm on Alvarez with you. He was also part of the article today with Michael Brantley, and Kyle Tucker at 4,100 is kind of criminally low for him right now. He's just knocking the laces right off the ball. And then a little bit below that, Franmil Reyes at 4,400. I don't mind that one. Small sample size. He's got a 538 ISO against left-hand pitching so far this year. One of a Miami bat that I did have in my notes that I'm on is actually Adam Duvall tonight at 3,600. I don't mind him. He's 276 expected ISO tonight. And you only giving up a 350 WOBA versus right-handed bats on the going back to last year. Other than that, really, I had Yankees down, but I'm like a lot heavier on Houston right now than I am the Yankees.
So is there anybody else in outfield, DC? Because I got to ask you guys about a team I want to talk about in particular that we really haven't brought up much.
Yeah, there's a lot more guys at outfield, but
let's do it.
There's like 100 guys today.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, just one more point on Soto. I've talked about this before, but from a strategy perspective, you'll see the Yankees guys be so much higher owned than Soto, partly because people stack all the time, right? Most people stack in GPPs. People aren't really going to stack, I don't think, the Nationals very much, where everyone's going to stack the Yankees. So that will, even if Judge and Stanton aren't, 1v1 better plays than Soto, and I don't think they are, their ownership will be so much higher because if you play Stanton, you're going to play Judge. If you want to play Judge, you're also going to play Stanton. And that goes for DJ LeMahieu, and all those guys are going to inflate each other's ownership. So I love the Soto pivot off of those top guys for pretty much the same price. Cheaper guys, I think you can look at. D-Arc mentioned Kyle Tucker. I think he's an outstanding play, hitting 7th. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I do like Clint Frazier a lot if you're trying to get away maybe a little bit from the big guns for the Yankees. Cheaper guys, I don't see a whole lot, actually. Avisal Garcia hitting 4th for the Brewers is 3,300. Again, I do like picking on Alzolay a little bit. So, yeah, I guess outfield does look like mostly a spend-up position, though.
Okay.
Another one, Kyle Schwarber is expected to be back in the lineup tonight.
Yep.
He's only 4.2
Yep.
in DraftKings. I pair him up with Soto in a little mini stack.
Yeah, I mean, the Nats are getting guys back now. And it's not just Kyle Schwarber. So this is an interesting lineup now because Josh Bell is back, and he's a guy that could hit 40 home runs. I really do believe that, especially in that ballpark when it warms up. You got Schwarber back in the lineup tonight. Unfortunately for them, they're going to fire with Eric Fetty, but this is a lineup. I'm not going to sleep on the Nationals tonight. And I don't think you guys should either. Now, the question is, Bell, Schwarber, like we're making these lineups here. D-Rock, how many lineups you making tonight, and how many Nationals? Like, so this is a really good lineup now. Robles, Turner, Soto, Bell, Schwarber, and that's kind of where it stops. The top 5. How much Nationals are you gonna have in your pool?
So I only run 10 lineups every night, and so on a night like tonight, I'll probably definitely get one 5-man stack out of my 10 lineups that's going to have Nationals, but I'll have a lot more Soto one-offs and then pairing Soto with like a Schwarber or a Bell or even a Trey Turner.
DC?
They're growing on me for sure. So obviously Schwarber and Bell missed they had that first series canceled. I think that was against the Mets. Didn't play all last week due to the health and safety protocols or whatever they're called. So this is their season debut, both of them tonight. I don't know. It makes me a little bit nervous rostering those guys, but they're cheap enough. Matchup is good. They should be good to go. I assume they've been, with the team and taking batting practice and all that jazz.
Yeah. So. They're taking BP. I mean, they're probably taking live BP too. Yeah, I'm not too concerned. It's
a little
about
concerning. That. I mean, they haven't been able to play a game.
I know. Yeah.
Like 3 weeks since spring training. So,
I mean, it's been almost 3 weeks, Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's been almost 3 weeks. And more than anything, I'd rather talk about the other side because Eric Fetty was one of the top prospects in the Nationals farm system, and he's just flamed out.
Yeah,
I mean, people say, "Oh, gas can." He's a legitimate gas can. The guy, what did somebody say? He throws pecker height. I mean, it's just right over the middle, right where you want to crush it. That's what we're doing. So the question that I had for you was a Cardinal stack. And I don't know how you know what? I do know how popular. They're not going to be popular at all tonight. The problem is Goldschmidt has not gotten going. Arenado has not gotten going. These bats, maybe tonight is the night that they can get there. D-Rock, I'm not even going to ask you about the Cardinals. You're a Cubs fan. DC, what are we doing with the Cards tonight? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean, I like picking on Eric Fetty in general, but it's just who on the Cardinals do you really want to pay up for? Arenado, Goldschmidt, they're not cheap. I prefer them against lefties anyway. Tommy Edman just doesn't have enough power there. So I can't really make – I like Dylan Carlson a little bit. Should have mentioned him in the outfield. But overall, they could have a good game, but I think it's going to be mostly kind of stringing hits together, maybe some big rallies. I don't see – necessarily some huge performances out of any individual Cardinals bats.
Okay, very good. We're going to move on here. Wind's blowing out to right, 8 miles an hour at Busch. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Never forgive you for saying you're not a Holden fan, but that's fine. You've been nice ever since, and I guess I'll deal with that. Fetty does suck, Joey Worth, but so do you. So stacks time. Let's do the stacks. Let's get to these. Then we're going to get out. We got the big basketball show, the Wood show coming up in just a little bit. I already told you the guys I'm thinking of. It just seems after talking to you guys a little too chalky, so I'll have to pivot somewhere. But Astros, A's, and a few Yankees bats, and now I'm starting to lean toward the Nationals, getting a few guys there. D-Rock, give me 2 or 3 stacks you like tonight.
I'm going to be going with the Nationals like we just talked about. I'm not going to come off of Houston. I think when it comes time to putting in the Houston stats, everybody's going to know how chalky they're going to be. And people are going to try getting cute and just going like 3-man stats or something like that. So I'll stack them 5-man. And the thing I like also about the Houston stack is if you put Tucker, Alvarez, and Brantley in your stack, you're taking up all 3 outfield positions. And a lot of people don't like doing that. They like to have that one last outfield position to be able to work in their 3-man into. And then I'm also probably going to the Yankees. It's going to be a chalky night for me, but with so many players on the slate, there's so many just easy ways to get around the chalk where you really don't have to worry about it. So I'm just sticking with the top 3: Houston, Yankees, and Washington.
All right, UDC, who do you got?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with the chalk stacks. I mean, I like Houston a lot too. I like the Yankees. I think everybody kind of does. Getting away from those guys a little bit if you want to. I like the Orioles quite a bit. The Mariners, actually, both sides of that game, I think, are pretty good. I don't think either of those pitchers are any good. Bad bullpens as well in a good hitting environment. Other places I'm looking, we haven't talked much about the Reds, but Aaron Sanchez, I've got concerns for him going forward, just with the missing velocity. And this team's, they might be leading baseball in runs right now. I have mentioned Votto and Moustakas so far, but the other guys at the top of the lineup, Winker, Castellanos, Eugenio Suarez, I mean, these guys are all tremendous hitters. So, yeah, that top 5, even top 6 or 7, frankly, from the Reds against Sanchez, I think is interesting. Late night game. People don't want to stack in San Francisco. I get it. But there's a lot of power in that lineup. I could see them doing some serious damage.
All right. I still have not seen the official word on Rodon. I keep seeing where he's sick, but he's not ruled out yet. So Brandon McNair, though, asked the question, can I have you guys talk on Ronaldo Lopez real quick if Rodon is out? Here's another guy. He came over to that Adam Eaton trade, him and Giolito. And Ronaldo Lopez, great fastball and stuff. Secondary pitches really has not refined him. Has a tough time with a strike zone. DC, any take there if Lopez ends up getting the start tonight? Do we target him?
I would bump up that those Indians bats is what I would do.
Okay.
So Jose Ramirez, Eddie Rosario, Cesar Hernandez would all look like pretty good plays if Ronaldo gets the start to me.
Yep. What about you, D-Rock?
Yeah, I'm angry. I'm not too inclined on never playing a pitcher that is going to take a spot start like that this late into the day. They're not getting their normal routine in, and it just ends up being a disaster usually. And the other side of that game goes nuts.
Guys, again, I've not seen any official word on Rodon, so that's all I can tell you. I've just not seen anything, so I'm going to go and I'm going to act like he's going to pitch until I hear some official word. So that's just the way I got to do it. Let's do our plays of the day, gentlemen. D-Rock's double nipple play of the day. That's where we're going today. I mean, you show your nipples, bro. Yeah, we got to name it after that. Who is your play of the day?
I'm sticking with the article, and I'm going Juan Soto tonight, $5,400, probably under 10% ownership. 406 expected Wilbo with a 248 expected ISO. I'm even going to bet him to hit a home run tonight with it.
What do you think, DC? What's the Mom's Basement, right? Mom's Basement play of the day?
Absolutely, yeah. Mom's Basement play of the day. I'm taking a pitcher and a hitter. You can probably guess by now if you watch the show. Alex Cobb, the Mom's Basement pitcher of the day, and Jazz Chisholm, the hitter of the day. So two guys I think will be very low owned, especially Alex Cobb, and hopefully they can come through in a big way.
Yeah, I don't think I have a name for mine. I'm just going back to Wilmer Flores against a left-handed pitcher. So expect that to be in Big T score too. I can almost guarantee it. Where the Wilmer Flores against left-handed.
That's good. Then you can blame him when if Flores doesn't do anything. That's a smart move right there.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. 500 people watching, 117 likes. We're going to have to do better tomorrow. Now, I really didn't pump the like thing. We're not giving stuff away for the likes anymore. But I will say this. We probably need to get 150 tomorrow to keep doing this show for free. I mean, that's just the case. Actually, try and get us to 130 over the next minute because we want to do this show for free, but we're not going to do it if you guys aren't showing us love. Instagram, I want to leave you with this. Instagram, post your screenshots on your Instagram story, tag us at Run Pure Sports. We're going to repost on our story because you got to use the hashtag members never win. Members never win. Because all people, Big T, Hoop. Congrats, Hoop. You won another $1 trillion. Oh, those are the big guys. They're always winning. The other guys, these guys always win. Our members are just killing it right now, and they're going to keep doing it. Jed Owens won $6K in the NBA. JG Sports Cards won $123K in MLB, and he started going into the Discord and giving away free money. I mean, it's amazing what we got going on here. So hit the damn like button. That's all I can tell you. I want to come back tomorrow and continue to doing these free shows. DC's got great info. We got D-Rock with great info. I'm just handsome. I'm the dumb, handsome guy. And then Title's going to join us tomorrow. We got JT Hayes, some great talent here. DC, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Not much. Yeah. Good luck in all your lineups. I'll have the playbook and core plays up on the site shortly. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, you're so mean, Jose Ramos. Likes might go up if I'm not hosting. I don't even know what to say to you. It's disgusting. Anyways, D-Rock, would you like to say goodbye to anything?
No, just everybody good luck tonight, and we'll see y'all in chat.
Solid. And then if anybody has a screenshot of D-Rock's nipples, please send them over and we'll give it to Simon so we have his new thing. Love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, we got the Wood Show coming up here. Make sure you stick around for that. Big T will be on there. I don't know who else is hosting, but I'll tell you this much. It's going to be two other amazing people. And then me and JSU are going to lead you up to lock on our premium show, The Final Countdown. That starts every day, 45 minutes before lock on the NBA side. RunPureSports.com, the code GETBETS. You get Elite plus the bet side, and the bet side is free for the first month. Okay, very good. For DC and D-Rock and Simon behind the scenes, I'm Holden. Keep running pure.